I'm kind of sitting here trying to figure out how to make this video without kind of rambling. But yeah, I am Orla. I'm an Irish artist, and about 2 years ago I found out that I'm autistic. So I kind of wanted to just set this channel up to talk about my experiences about finding out you're autistic later in life, as well as to share some of my art. And in today's video, I just wanted to talk about how I found out that I'm autistic and why I wanted to pursue a diagnosis in the first place. I think it's probably best if I kind of go through like some childhood stuff and then kind of move on towards getting a diagnosis. So yeah, I think like I've always felt like kind of like an outsider, and I was never able to connect with people the way that they connect with themselves. And when you see other people being able to do stuff that you can't do, you begin to internalize that and think that you're the problem. And I always felt that there was something there, like a word to describe that lack of connection, but I never knew that I was the word autistic, because I grew up in a very small town in the west of Ireland during like the early 2000s. So I wasn't seen as autistic. I was seen as shy and quiet. And I remember teachers telling my parents at parent-teacher meetings that I just needed to come out of my shell a bit more. And, you know, I was doing really well, but I would get these periods where I'd be really quiet and didn't know how to talk to the other kids. And some of my earliest memories are of me in the bathroom in primary school, just kind of bursting into tears. And the teachers finding me there and just telling me to get over myself, basically, and to just go outside and play with the other kids. And I was thinking, yeah, okay, but like, how do I do that? Like, I don't know how to do that. That's the problem. So yeah, that lack of connection was always there, but I just didn't know that it was autism. And I don't think anybody else knew it was autism either, because like I said, this was back in like the early 2000s. So autism acceptance and awareness isn't what it is today. So like a lot of autistic people, a lot of autistic children back then, I learned how to mask my autism and hide parts of myself that I was told was too weird and too stupid. And I learned how to mold myself into someone that I thought everybody wanted me to be. And when you do that from an early age, you lose your sense of identity. And yeah, some days I would be very quiet, but then other days I would try to be very funny and try to be like the class clown and get people laughing, because I just thought people want to be around people that are funny. So if I'm funny, then people would want to be around me, even if I didn't understand why people were laughing. And to this day, I don't know if they were laughing with me or at me, but yeah. Yeah, I just thought if I could create this illusion of perfection, this person that I thought everybody wanted me to be, that disconnection would go away and nobody would have to worry about me, and I would fit in and everything would be okay. But just no matter how kind of like perfect I got, or I thought I was, that feeling of disconnection never went away, and it's been something that I've kind of carried with me all my life, and I could never escape it. Like, I tried to escape it many times. I would throw myself into work to try and distract me from it, and I would always try to find some sort of distraction because I didn't want to kind of analyze how I was feeling. But yeah, then COVID happened, and lockdown happened. All of my distractions were gone. You know, I couldn't go out to work, I couldn't meet people, and like a lot of people, I was really struggling. You know, I was at home with my thoughts that I didn't want to have, I didn't want to analyze. that I was always running from, and I couldn't run anymore. But like I said, I'm very good at distraction. So I found an online course, an animation course that I could do for a year. And I thought that this was perfect. It would give me something to do. Because like I said, I'm an artist. So I've always kind of been artistic. That's how I make sense of the world, is through art. And yeah, I was doing this course and I was talking to my classmates over Zoom, and we were talking about like representation in the media, and someone mentioned how they would love to see more disability represented in the media, especially around autistic girls and autistic women. And I was kind of confused by what she meant. So I Googled it, which I hate doing because I know that Google is not a doctor, but sometimes it can be like a good place to start. And I found all these women that were sharing their stories about finding out they're autistic later in life. And everything just clicked. Do you know, it was like reading my own story. Do you know, all the years of feeling like an outsider, all that disconnection, that all suddenly made sense. So instead of kind of embracing that, I just shut off my laptop and I was like, no. If I was autistic, I would have known by now. This is not something, you know, I'm not autistic. But then lockdown ended and the world was opening back up again, and I was able to go back to work and to my distractions. But that word autism was still lingering in the back of my mind, and it would not go away. I couldn't let it go, and I couldn't distract myself anymore. So I was at work one day and I went on to asiam.ie, their website, and they have a section there for adults with autism and late diagnosed autism. And it was through there that I found the adult autism practice. And I decided to go for a consultation. I decided I just decided this is something that I wanted to explore. And I didn't really have like a lot of expectations about it, just because I have tried to go to doctors before about feeling disconnection from other people. And I was always told that it was like anxiety, it was depression, it was all these other things except autism. And they were trying to put me on like medication and not really kind of get to the root of what I was feeling, which wasn't helpful. So yeah, I didn't really have like a lot of expectations, but I'm very glad that I went for a consultation, and I ended up doing the sessions with Philomena, and she confirmed that I was autistic in 2021, which I'm still processing. And I kind of underestimated how big of a deal this would be. So yeah, it's been over 2 years since I found out that I am autistic, and it's been the best experience of my life, but it's also been like the most overwhelming and exhausting experience of my life, because, you know, everything changes and nothing changes. Like in a sense, you're still the same person that you were before, but you just have this new information about yourself. And in many ways, learning you're autistic explains so much. And I'm finally working with my brain instead of against it. But at the same time, it's like, well, what is autism? Do you know, I have so much internal ableism and stereotypes that I need to let go of. And in a sense, I'm only at the beginning of that journey. Do you know, it's only been 2 years. And I feel ready to kind of talk about my experiences now, which is why I've set up this channel. And if you want to follow along, please subscribe. I would love that. And yeah, like I said, art is how I process the world. And so since my diagnosis, I have been using art to try and figure out how I feel about everything. And if you want to see my art, it's at ordaartist.com. I'll put a link down below. yeah, I think the best thing that finding out I'm autistic has given me is the confidence and realization that I need to put myself first. Because all of my life I've been putting other people's needs first and other people first. And this is kind of the period of my life where I'm going to be put first. And I'm trying to figure out what that all means. And it's scary and exciting. But yeah, I'm not afraid to kind of pursue the life that I want anymore. Yeah, that's it. That's my story. Well, it's kind of part of my story. There's a lot more that I kind of want to share, but this is just kind of like an introductory video to kind of tell you guys what this channel is going to be about. And if you are like diagnosed autistic and you want to share your story down below, please do. And if you have any tips on how to kind of navigate finding out you're autistic later in life, please share them down below. And thank you for watching.